Welcome everybody to the best place in the world, Melbourne. I suppose there are people that don't live here in Melbourne. You don't have to go home. You can stay here. We started welcoming people way back in the 1830s. I suppose it's a little bit symbolic playing didgeridoo when obstetrics come together. Because my people didn't have them. The only people that actually had didgeridoo is way up in the northern part of Australia, in Arnhem Land. And the reason why it's sort of almost forbidden for women to hear and play didgeridoo in that region, because it was a symbol of male fertility. And if the young boys were capable of playing didgeridoo quite well, apparently later on in life they would be blessed with lots of children. And not even some Aboriginal people don't even know about that. So there you go, you've got a little bit of information there. But I suppose being a mere male, sort of waiting to come in and talk a little bit about the subject. I was actually some time ago, probably about, I'd say now, maybe 30 years ago, I was involved with our official organisation here in Melbourne, and somebody from the then RMIT University in Bundoora in the northern suburbs of our place here rang me and he said, oh, look, there's a strange tree that's fallen down and we've picked it up and put it on the back of the lorry and we've put it in the car park. We're just wondering whether or not it's anything significant, or we're just going to chop it up and actually sell it for firewood. You want to come and have a look at it? Well, I went and had a look at it. This tree was possibly anything up to maybe 500 years old. And the tree, some of the limbs, or the trunk was rounded on this, but the trunk was fused together like that. And these two great, unbelievable sizes of limbs were fused together. So at that point in time, my mother was alive, and I said, oh, Mum, and that's where my Aboriginality comes from, my mother's side of the family. I said, oh, there's this strange tree out at Bundoora, Mum, they're going to cut it up. And she said, oh, I'll come out and have a look. She said, it's a birthing tree. She says, where the women of our region would go and sit under there and make a hole in the ground and place eucalyptus leaves. Well, they became a little bit more aware of the tree at the RMIT there, and they picked it up and they placed it back exactly where it was and where it actually fell over. The other amazing thing there is that there's a particular plant that's now grows profusely around where that tree has been laid, and it's what we actually refer to as the kangaroo apple. It's got a leaf very similar to the paw imprint that a kangaroo makes as it's walking along the ground. And I referred that plant to Mum, and she said, they're women plants as well. She said, those particular plants, the fruit on that particular plant, are deadly poisonous. She said, but Granny used to tell me, because of course my mum was born in 1921 and she spent a lot of time with her gran, who was born in 1854. She said, yeah, Granny used to tell me about the women using that particular fruit if they didn't want children around. So apparently there's something in that particular fruit that's also something to do with, you know, not having to put up with the crying and all those sorts of things. I know all about it. I've got 10 grandkids, and one of my horrible granddaughters has seen fit to have children. So I'm a great granddad, alas. But I'm enjoying every bit of it. So enjoy coming together on the land of the Wurundjeri people, and I hope you come up with some, I don't suppose there's solutions to come up with this. But I suppose there's one other amazing thing is, like, I was in Japan, and I was there for the marshlands, and they were regenerating the marshlands there. And one of the professors of the Kasuro University spoke about all of these wonderful little things that they were finding in the marshlands, all these little invertebrates that they weren't aware of and all that sort of thing. And I spoke out and I said, well, isn't it amazing that you have to go to university to find out these things? I said, because you know what? The Ainu, the people of North Japan, I said the Ainu would have had to know about those invertebrates to survive in that region there. And possibly that was the same, I suppose, I should imagine, with people of my age in living in a traditional lifestyle of the indigenous peoples. They would be professors of everything. They would, of times and all those other wonderful things about childbirth and all that sort of thing. I'm quite certain they had their own ways of doing things way back then without having to go to university. Not putting down universities, of course, because we've lost a lot of those ways of doing things. So yeah, I'm quite certain that Indigenous peoples had all the ways and the means of childbirth and all those things prior to European settlement all over the world. So enjoy coming together. Wurundjeri from Wurundjeri people, Wurundjeri, welcome.